Hi, I'm Amaya, and welcome back to my channel. Vicha, Cat's Eye, Dear Alice, Santos Bravos, and Saint Satin. All of these groups were attempts by major K-pop companies to capture a market outside of Asia, and all but one of these groups have lost members. KG and Kaylee left Vicha, Manon has been on this strange hiatus for months now, James left Dear Alice, and most recently, Lexi left Saint Satin pre-debut. When K-pop has been a major global force for years now, why can its most successful companies not keep their members around? First, I want to explain that members leaving international groups seems to be different than when they leave K-pop groups. Let's look at people who have left groups under these same companies in recent years. Seunghan and Garam left their groups because of outside drama. Woojin, Jinny, and Youngso left their groups for personal reasons. Danielle left NewJeans because she was kicked out, and Heesung left ENHYPEN to go solo. As you can see, most of these idols left their groups or were removed for drama or conflict, with only one person on this list leaving to pursue a solo career. Now we can figure out why international groups are having this issue where K-pop groups aren't. Let's start with the scouting process. As we all know, K-pop has been around for a while now, and it's based off of the Motown formula, where you scout trainees or hold auditions for them. They train under your company for years in important aspects like dance and vocals, and then whoever you think has the most potential becomes an artist under your label. The K-pop system has perfected this formula, and now little kids grow up wanting to be K-pop idols. When they started expanding to other countries, like the US for example, kids over here don't really grow up wanting to be in a singing group because we haven't had those for a long time. Most kids who grow up wanting to be singers want to be soloists. We just don't have the group forming system. Outside of the K-pop industry, typically people expect to have a little more creative control over the music that they're putting out. If you're a kid who grew up wanting to be a singer, you probably had a vision for yourself and at least knew what genres you wanted to explore, as opposed to entering a company and them telling you what you should do. That alone is a big difference between K-pop and other music industries. The most popular groups in the 2010s were One Direction and Fifth Harmony, who I talked about in my Selling Personality video, linked in the description box. It's important to mention that both of these groups were formed of people who only ever wanted to be soloists. This is also shown by how in each group, one member left early, and that member didn't end up leaving the industry or pursuing a different career field. Both Zayn and Camila Cabello ended up just going solo. This is further evidenced by James's exit letter, where he said, "If you'd told me a few years ago that I'd be in a boy band traveling the world, I honestly would have laughed." That doesn't sound like something he'd imagined himself doing. Compare this to the K-pop system where, firstly, everyone has the goal of being in a group. Second, a very small percentage of idols make it solo. And third, most of the time, solo idols were originally in groups. We can even take a look at some of the other contestants who trained to be in these groups. For example, KG and Kaylee from Vicha ended up releasing solo music after they left the group, along with Adela, Carly, and Marquise from Dream Academy. Some of the other Dream Academy girls did end up debuting in K-pop groups, but not in international groups, which just shows the difference between these two industries. If you're enjoying today's video, hype it so my video goes out to a larger audience. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. I post videos every week. In the K-pop industry, you're guaranteed success by debuting under a big company. HYBE, JYP, and SM hold weight because of what they've achieved with their previous groups. In new markets, these names don't entice people to listen to their groups because they're unknown. Most people don't even know what label their favorite artist is signed to. This may have been the issue for Dear Alice, where it seemed like they didn't get a lot of promotion. They went several months without posting on YouTube, and their only content really was short videos on TikTok. They didn't even really promote their in-person performances that much. For an individual to be successful in the K-pop industry, they have to put the group's needs over their own, sacrificing their youth, giving up other hobbies, potentially dropping out of school, practicing long hours, and always being grateful for both your company and your fans. In the US and certain countries in Europe, we focus more on our own personal goals over the company's goals and push back against these requirements. This isn't saying that individualistic countries are selfish, but that they have different goals in a job, but these collectivist cultures emphasize loyalty a lot more than individualistic ones do. This may be why members from international groups are more comfortable leaving when things aren't working out for them, as opposed to K-pop idols who are more inclined to push through things. This article from University of Iowa focuses on the differences between the collectivist society in Russia and the individualistic society in the US. It mentions this issue directly, stating that one significant downside of a strong reliance on the community and the expected loyalty to the group is the potential suppression of individual interests and thoughts. Conforming to the collective can limit personal freedom and make it difficult to express individual perspectives. This says that people from individualistic countries are more likely to express personal freedom and their own perspectives, which may make it easier for them to leave situations that don't benefit them personally. To get a better understanding of this, let's look at the statement Lexi posted on Instagram when she left Saint Satine. When I joined Project Saint Satine, I truly believed it was the right place for me. I was excited by the presented vision and future plans we were going to be working towards together. I have nothing but respect and appreciation for the team, but we have different ways of operating, and that's okay. While Lexi can't air out her grievances with the company, she's saying that things didn't work out the way she anticipated when she joined Saint Satine. This is an example of choosing your own personal goals over what the company has envisioned. Another reason why these groups may not work out is that they're almost always a collaboration between a K-pop company and a localized company. Katseye and Saint Satine are under Hype America and Geffen. Girl Set is under JYP USA and Republic Records. Dear Alice is under SM and Moon and Back Media. And Santos Bravos is the only group to be under one label, that being Hype Latin America. Is the key to keeping an international group together, giving one company full control? Vicha was the first group on this list to debut, and they released their first song less than 3 years ago. K-pop companies having groups outside of Asia is a very new thing, and it's expected that things may not work out perfectly in the beginning. International groups may need more time to figure out what aspects of the K-pop formula do and don't apply. Something else I've noticed with these international groups is a small turnaround time between when they hold auditions or when they start scouting people and when the group makes their debut. Katseye probably had the most amount of training time, but Santos Bravos, from what they told us, it was about 6 months. For Vicha, it was about a year between them being trainees and the show airing. With Dear Alice, they had a show as well, and I don't think they had a lot of time between debut either, so it could just be that these people don't have time to get acquainted with the training system to really understand what's going on before they've already been selected for the lineup. And at that point, most people will be kind of hesitant to leave because they have an opportunity in front of them, as opposed to, we don't know how often trainees leave these companies when they're not already in the debut lineup. Trainees are probably leaving left and right. They can get rid of people, they can bring in new people, and it doesn't matter because there's such a big pool. But in forming a lot of these groups, they have very small talent pools and a short amount of time, so they're not giving these kids enough time to decide if this is what they really want to do. Is this a fundamental difference between the industries that can't be resolved? Should K-pop companies stop pursuing groups outside of Asia, or do you think they just need time to develop? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!